When money was backed by gold, inflation was zero for decades, until governments realized they could print unlimited cash if they just changed the rules. It's 1816. The Napoleonic Wars just ended. Britain is looking for monetary stability and adopts the gold standard, making the pound sterling directly convertible to a specific amount of gold. This was the government legally obligating itself to exchange paper for precious metal on demand. Other countries watching said, "Damn, that's actually smart." Germany joined in 1871. The United States made the Gold Standard Act of 1900. By the early 1900s, almost every major economy was on the gold standard. The US dollar was fixed at 23.22 grains of gold, or about 1/20th of an ounce. That meant $20 equals 1 ounce of gold. Simple and transparent. This created fixed exchange rates and made trade and investment easier. The best part, if the government issued too many notes without enough backing, people would show up demanding gold and the jig would be up. This created the most stable monetary period in modern history. From 1880 to 1914, inflation was basically zero. But here's where it gets spicy. World War I happens and shitloads of money are needed to fund the war, so they suspend the gold standard. Sorry guys, we'll totally go back to gold later, pinky promise. After the war, countries tried to return to the gold standard, but they made a critical error. They went back at pre-war rates after printing tons of new money. The UK pound was massively overvalued. Then in 1929, stock market crashes, cue the Great Depression. The UK drops gold in 1931. The US effectively does it in 1933 when FDR confiscates everyone's gold. Executive Order 6102 made it illegal for Americans to own gold. The government forced citizens to sell gold at $20.67 per ounce, then immediately revalued it to $35. They literally stole 40% of people's gold value overnight. After World War II, the world created the Bretton Woods system. The dollar would be backed by gold at $35 per ounce, and other currencies would be pegged to the dollar. But here's the problem. The US started running massive deficits. Vietnam War, Great Society programs, NASA. They were printing way more dollars than they could back. Foreign governments noticed and demanded their gold. France started aggressively converting their dollars to gold in the 1960s. By 1971, the US gold reserves were draining fast. Enter Richard Nixon. On August 15, 1971, he said on TV, "We're temporarily suspending dollar convertibility to gold." That temporary suspension is still in effect over 50 years later. This was the Nixon shock, the final death of the gold standard. From that moment on, all major currencies became backed by nothing but government promises and military might. The result? Since 1971, the dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Your grandparents' $25,000 house now costs $500,000. Houses didn't get better, money got worse. So what did the gold standard teach us? That backing currency with something scarce creates stability. That governments will always choose money printing over fiscal discipline. That sound money is the exception, not the rule, in human history. And most importantly, that the ability to create money out of thin air is the most powerful and corrupting force in economics.